Hey, Radu here. So I want to import the CSV file into Excel, but I want to import a specific file that has this path. And of course, if I want to be able to change the path to import a separate file. So let's see how we can do this. As a note, we'll need a little bit of macro, a little bit of Power Query, and a little bit of knowledge about Excel. Let's get started. As you can see here, I have a button that says select file. If I click on it, I can select the file that I want to import. This is optional and there is a bit of code behind that, a little bit of macro. If you want, you can download it. I'll put the link in the description, but you can also copy the path here. I know mine looks like weird, like Mac, Home, whatever, because I'm running Windows on a Mac and this is how the path looks. Now, to move on, what I need to do first is to define a name. So this needs to have a name. For example, let's call it path. You can have like whatever name you want. You'll see later on that this is important as we change that query. Now, we need to modify this query, and yes, first you'll need to create the query to modify it, like logic, okay? Right click, edit. And we're going to go into advanced editor because we want to edit the code. We don't want to edit like steps and stuff like that. Okay, so go into advanced editor and want to edit the code. Let me make this a little bit bigger. And if you look at it, you'll probably notice that something is pretty static in here. And that something is that piece of code that gives the path. So by default, if you import something via Power Query, it says, okay, the path needs to be in that folder, that file. Okay, so that's what we want to change. But to change it, I'm going to use something like a variable. So I'm going to just paste a line of code. I choose to paste it and not write it because I have a lot of issues in putting all the brackets and everything here. So this is the name of the variable, file path. Okay, sounds good. From until now, it goes into the current workbook and searches for a name. That's why I use the named range. So I'm going to use the path name. Okay, this can have any name you want. This can have any name you want. So it's not something like you have to use file path and path. It says row 0 column 1 because it's like the first value. Now I think the numbering starts from 0. Now we want to change this also because you don't want to go into the same place and search for the file. You want to remove that and just write file path. You also have some autocomplete there, and that's pretty much it. If I click done, sometimes it shows a message about data privacy, whatever. If you click OK, it will probably work. So if I click close and load, it should work. Radu, of course it works because it's like the same file in the same place. So let's make have a little bit of test. I'm gonna go and rename that. So let's right click and I think I should be able to rename it. Customers 2. Okay, I'm very creative. Okay, so I changed the name of the file and I'm selecting it here. It has a separate, it has a different path. Right click and refresh. As you can see, it got all the data from that second file. You can see here the data sources. It says file number 2. So pretty much everything is okay. The path is dynamic and it gets the data that we give it from the file that we select here. Before we end, just want to let you know that I'll put some links in the description with the files and everything if you want to test things out, if you want to see what the macro looks like and everything else. So that was kind of it. Hit the like button if you learned something new, and for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.